In Matthew 11:28, Jesus famously says, "Come to me all who labor and are heavy laden or heavy burdened, and I'll give you rest." He says, "Take my yoke upon you," and usually people skip over that, but it's the idea of us coming under the yoke of Jesus' finished work, his teachings, his interpretation of the Torah, his way of life that flows out of his finished work on the cross. So we get to enter into new life through faith in what he's already done for us. The work is completed. And he says, you will find rest for your souls. We're all looking for a measure of rest. Rest is peace with God, relationship and friendship with our Creator through faith in Jesus. And very often, culture drives a different narrative that says, no, rest is achieved. Once you've worked enough, once you've achieved and produced enough, then based on the outcome or the results, you can have rest. You can finally lay down and enjoy. And Jesus teaches something contrary to that. We don't work for rest. Rest is not achieved or earned. Rest is found. Rest is discovered. Rest is entered into and received from Jesus by faith. And so we, on a daily basis, need to remind ourselves that every day that I start does not begin with my efforts. It doesn't begin with what you can do. It's not, your efforts oriented. It's not centered around what you can produce for God and your performance. It's centered around purely and only the finished work of Jesus. And then from that place, we do things. We walk with God. We partner with Him. We do the works that He's fashioned us for. But it has to begin in this place of rest. And so many of us are tirelessly working for what Jesus has already given us for free. And so Jesus actually explains that he's come to reveal the Father. So attached to rest is this idea of revelation. As we know the Father better, as we see him clearer in the Son, very simply, as we have deeper intimacy with God our Creator, we enjoy greater rest. It seems as though our awareness of the rest we have in Jesus flows out of revelation of God. So if you spend time in His Word today, if you spend time in prayer, as God teaches you who He is and reminds you of who He is and what He's done in His Son, there's this greater awareness of the rest that we have in Christ. And from that place, we go and do what He's called us to. So stop working for what Christ has already achieved for you. Stop trying to earn what God has already given you freely in His Son, and enjoy. And from that place of rest, do what you have been made to do, which is not this stressful, exhaustive, burdensome work, but a kind of work that's liberating and partnering with God and enjoying His presence in the process. I can have peace while I work rather than working for peace.